is.
Okay, so you're dealing with I guess like buying out brands, acquisitions on
Yep.
brands.
Yep. Exactly
Are
right.
you like almost like procurement for other brands?
Yeah. Exactly right. But I
Okay.
deal more or less with the management part, and I just pretty much manage. I manage mostly the Applebee's brand,
Okay.
and yeah, been doing that for a few years. So
Okay. And what got you into real estate? Hi, Kathy. Good morning. We're basically, just so you guys know, this is kind of like Saturday morning's easy, right? No one wants to start up at 10 o'clock in the morning being taught like a million things, even though I get into that. But this is more like a one-on-one. What do you guys do? Like, how can I help you? How can we help you with FlippBidd? So, good morning. Hope you guys got your coffee, whatever it is. We started off with a little jazz. Started a few minutes early. Just wanted to say hello to everyone. So yes, Mr. Sylvan. So what is Sylvan's? Is that your first name? Or is that your last name?
yeah, that's my first name, and you got it right better than everyone else.
Okay, okay. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Sylvans, Sylvens. I don't know how else.
Yeah.
Sylvans? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Everyone would mess it up. Everyone would mess it up. My whole entire life, I've had people mess it up. I've had English teachers and school systems that say my name, but don't say my name. They say a whole different name. I've been called Stephen, Sylvester, Sliven by teachers.
Oh,
So,
well, I don't know. Given the economic climate, I'm not going to get too political with this new
yeah.
administration. I don't know if this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing with the override of what's happening with the Department of Ed, but we're going to keep our fingers crossed for the sake of our children. If those of you
Yep.
out there that have them, that this will be a good thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if
Exactly
it,
right.
and if it's not, there's always 2028, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's the way I look at it. It's ups and downs. It's a little give and take, and we're gonna get through it together either way, guys. Hi, Kathy. Good
Absolutely.
morning.
Good morning.
Where am I reaching you?
Outside of St. Louis.
Outside of St. Louis? Okay. So let's start off with this. So there's a lot of changes that are happening on the back end that I'm building like with like AI and like automation and reminders. You guys are getting texts, I'm assuming, from FlipBid's phone number reminding you to sign up on a weekly basis. And reminder is starting, right? You're getting it?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, that's awesome. I like when things work, especially when you're in technology, right? The reason why I do this, just so you guys know, it's not to bother you guys. It's not to spam you guys. You know what it is? Life takes over sometimes, right? That's just reality. And there's a lot of things you learn from our demos on Thursdays and Saturdays. And we'll start at like 10 o'clock on the dot. There's people gonna start piling in. The reason why we do it is just to, hey, quick reminder, look, it's starting. You don't want to miss it. It's, by the way, it's open invite. So if you have that link, save it somewhere. It's not changing. It's the same link every week, right?
Yeah.
That link doesn't change, and we're gonna even make it easier. Like even if you're like driving, you just want to dial in, we're just creating that link as a little video icon in the app next to your profile. You can just click, and it'll just take you right into the demo and discussion on a weekly basis. So that's that easy. So what do you guys do? Like, are you buyers? Are you sellers? I know Sylvans is in operations. What brings you guys into real estate?
I am a flipper. I, I actually own a home investors franchise.
You own a Home Investors franchise. Okay.
Correct.
So is Home Investors, I'm assuming your company? Is that the company?
Well, Home Investors is the national organization. My company is become accustomed, but Home Investors is they're like they say the number one buyer is what they say. It's the We Buy Ugly Houses people.
God, I've heard of you guys.
Yeah.
I,
I think we are the only franchised organization that does, I think, I could be wrong though, that does uh flipping, wholesaling, rentals, etc.
yeah,
So
I've definitely heard of you guys. I think there's a lot of synergy between organizations like yours and ours because what we're doing, just like and Sylvia, I'll get right back to you because I want to hear about what you do too. But Kathy beat you to the punch. Um, Yeah, so what we do with FlippBidd, I think this is huge synergies from home investors. And you said you're a franchisee of the of home investors. Is that
Correct.
so? What we do is we basically have created an application, right? It's kind of like it's one of its kind, where we don't just connect our users to some sort of like data warehouse in the cloud. What do I mean by that? Well, there's a lot of organizations out there that are really good at what they do, really pretty user interface, easy to use, and basically connect you to like the MLS database, right? Everybody has access to MLS, right? It's just kind of like public records. But what we do is we actually allow, if you're looking at my screen, not only through the application, but literally the general public. And there's a huge initiative right now where we're reaching out to people on like Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, and saying, look, I know you're uploading a property, but why don't you submit a property to our network right here? And they're like, a lot of people standoffish because it's technology. A lot of people don't understand that it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. It's literally like, okay, how much does it cost? Well, it costs nothing, right? So they could just literally go to our website, and this is outside the application. I'll show you how to do it in the application as well. They can just put in their company name, their email, their phone number, hit the next button, and literally put in the property address. So let's say, putting an address, it works on Google technology, so it'll show the property right there. You could add everybody has a Dropbox and Google Drive Pics link nowadays. You could just enter your link there. So, reason why I'm telling you this, Kathy, is because even if you want to upload your properties, I don't know if it's a conflict of interest, but it's free marketing, really, right? And the cool thing about it, you put in your price, so there's no padding. We're not middlemen. We're not brokers, agents. It's whatever your price is. You can upload different types of sales, right? And you can do this in the app too. So I'll show you how to do that. And people are starting to pile in. Good morning, Phil. I want to introduce everybody to Phil Augustum, head of operations. He handles the back end stuff and it's starting to get busy. So hats off to him. I know he's got his work cut out for him nowadays.
That's right, Ken. Thank you so much for introducing me. Good morning, everyone. I'm glad that you made it this morning, and sit back and just
enjoy the show.
Yeah, enjoy the show.
So we were just talking about uploading properties, and I was just getting to know everybody. I know a couple of people joining in. Corey's jumping on. I saw Corey last week. Soho iPhone, hello.
Hi.
My man GT's jumping on. Silva's his first time attendee. So we're gonna get around to everybody. So anyway, so in regards to marketing your properties, just so you guys understand, this is a very unregulated industry. Well, majority of it in majority of the states, right? So even if you guys have properties that you have access to, as long as it's not listed and you have the authorization verbally or some sort of formal communication, you want to send it to our whole community, you can do it right here, right? So beds, baths, square footage, what type is this, single family, multifamily, blah, blah, blah. And literally you can just click and drag a picture into here, right? From your desktop or upload it, right? You can just add the picture or drag and drop the picture, right? Here you go. Here's the picture. Boom, it's in, right? You want to add another picture. There you go, right? You could add a few, hit submit. By the way, guys, when you hit the submit button, Tom Idleman's coming in. When you submit that property, here's the beauty of our application. It's going to convert everything you uploaded into an AI voice. So it's actually going to speak to our community of users about what type of property it is, who it's from, their name, their wholesaler company, what kind of property asset type it is, sale type it is, and so on. And you could actually they'll be able to click on your pictures and videos, right? So when you upload this property, everybody will get notified on the app, not just an email. Like they get a phone app notification. The app notification is it's literally one of those things that bypasses all those spam filters. That's kind of what we're proud of. If you see here where our free marketing for wholesalers with FlippBidd ad is, literally we mean this. There's no spam, no credit card required, right? And you're not gonna spam meaning both sides, right? People aren't gonna come to you and say, oh, you want to buy crypto, or hey, I'm interested. I'm sure you guys heard that response before. And the guy that's telling you that's interested is literally a robot from overseas collecting your data. You're not going to get that stuff, right? And your properties are not going to end up in some spam folder. I mean, once somebody, as you guys know, and just feel free to chime in, any of you guys ever like put your email address on like a Facebook channel, social media, and next thing you know, 50 people have it, you're getting spammed all day long about 50 different things at different properties?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
My phone blows up every morning.
Mhm.
Right. So that's kind of one out of like 50 different problems we're trying to solve for. Like you're not going to get spammed, right? Anybody that tries to upload a property, by the way, we have a whole backend database system that basically red flags properties that are offensive by nature, inaccurate, or you could when people basically report them and we get notified, and Phil will actually handle that and take that information down. The first time you get a slap on the wrist, next time we basically blacklist the user because it's just it starts becoming a trend and like almost like a habit of theirs, and we just don't want to harass our users. So we take a lot of pride in that. It's a little bit more of a manual process, but be rest assured that we're on top of it, almost like admins of Facebook groups, except you're literally people are here to talk about real estate. So I hope that helps, right? We'll get right into the app, but this is just our website, guys. It's www.flipbid.com. And for those of you guys joining, you guys want to upload a property real quick and you don't want to upload it through the app, which I don't know why you wouldn't, because you're going to get notified, by the way, when people are viewing your properties, and they can message and call you. When you upload it from here, when they click on the email button, you're simply going to get an email. But either way, it's free, right? It's free, and there's a little bit more checks and balances in here that avoid that whole spam issue. So, how many of you guys have played around before I start the demo, use the application this week? Um, A, you love it. Two, you don't get it. Three, you're trying to do something with it, but you just don't know how to. We'll just go around the table.
I Hi Soho. Hi.
Hi,
So
Soho. Great,
hi.
great, great name. One of my favorite areas of Manhattan.
Right? Good food too. So anyway, so I used it and it's pretty easy to navigate. The only problem I had on it, I'm trying to reach out to the agents and I'm not getting any call back, feedback, or text back. That's the
Okay.
only problem I had on it.
Okay, so you're contacting, so we don't know if they're agents, right? We don't
Mhm.
know who they are, right? It's just somebody has uploaded a property. Now, are you hitting the call button?
I hit the talk call button and it says this person is not available. Send a chat. So I tried to chat several times. Nobody's responding.
Okay, so I can tell you, go to your My Visits and click on a property, or go to your My Visits from your profile, and I'll go with you, right? And
So,
we'll start off the conversation from there, and then we'll kind of go around the table, and we'll try to address some of these issues. So I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, before I share my screen, let me make Phil the admin so he can let people in, make him the host. And now I can share my screen. Okay. So if you, Soho, go into
mhm,
your application, the
mhm,
properties you visited, meaning you viewed or you searched, right,
mhm,
show
mhm.
up in your my visits, right? So here's your my
So,
visits. It's in
okay, so where do I get my business when I
oh,
open the app?
great. So we'll start off from our backyard, right? This is kind of like where we show off our like pretty
Mm,
user interface, right? We're right in Soho, right? Right here, a little north near Tribeca. There you go. Right
mhm.
here. So here's Soho looking in Soho, right? And now she wants to go and look into her profile. By the way, guys, just a heads up, we noticed that this is a issue where people just don't really understand what the buttons do. We are creating a walkthrough when you first download the application. And that walkthrough, and that email, that welcome email, is going to have a link for a 10-minute video walkthrough of how to use the features and functions. I think that's going to help drastically, right? But while you're on here, here is your profile. This is not just a picture. This is your profile. It's a button. Each one of these things are buttons, right? This is a
Mhm.
button. This is a button, 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 button. So when you click on this, right, the first thing immediately what you guys should do is if you don't want to, people get camera shy, get it, right? You want to edit and you put in your information on here. Otherwise, you're not going to get a phone call back if your phone number is not on here. Okay, a real phone number, not a Google line, not a 1-800 number, not a whatever different numbers are out there. A real cell phone number. So if you don't have a cell phone on here, no one can call you because they don't know who to call back. Okay. Second, I always like to reiterate this, and I am guilty of this as well, right? A lot of you guys, and just raise, well, I can't see who's speaking, but just say yes or no. How many of you guys download applications, subscribe to things online, but then use like a spam email, like an obsolete email that no one uses anymore, right? Just because you wanted to subscribe to something. Yes?
Yes.
Most recently, yeah.
Yes. And a lot of the time it's yes. Let me tell you why this is going to be a problem with FlippBidd. FlippBidd integrates your email for responses. FlippBidd integrates your email for emails that are going out to wholesalers. For example, going back to FlippBidd, let's say here's my new properties, and I'll get to Soho in my visits, right? And when you're trying to communicate with these wholesalers and click on the email button, they're going to get your email that's registered to this application. So if it's a spam or obsolete email, I'm gonna rip apart this name. Alijuan Davis, right? Is going to respond to the email that you registered with. Okay. Same thing with the phone numbers. If you don't have, and I'm gonna hit the back button in your profile. This is very crucial, guys. Edit, add a picture. This is not my picture, but it's the company, right? Add a picture, add your background, right? Promote yourself. Upload a cover photo here from your camera and promote yourself, whether you're a wholesaler, a seller, an agent, a broker, promote yourself. We want you to do that. But could make sure you plug in your information otherwise and a phone number, otherwise you're not going to get any correspondence, and make sure you register your application or log in with an email address that's current, that's up to date, where you get information. We don't spam you guys. We don't sell your data. We're not that company. We're actually confined, and we're happy to agree to these terms. But App Store and Google Play literally have a sign, a lot of documentation when we upload our application to basically say we are not allowed to disclose personal information to others, right? That's the only way we get approved. So your information is not getting sold anywhere. But now when you do this, Soho, you're in your profile, this and everybody else that's listening, these are your user controls, okay? Your user controls do one of many different things. I bet you guys didn't know that this is a button. How many of you guys knew that this was a button?
No, I didn't.
And anybody else click this button and don't know what this does, or just like I said, it's open conversation today. Anybody like to know what that button does?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out.
Absolutely.
How many of you have heard of the term buy box? What's your buy box? This is my buy box.
Yes.
This is the buy box request. This is what we call the find my deal features, a little magnifying glass. What this does, if you click on it, it literally tells everybody in our network. Right now, there's about 2,000 people. I would say by the end of the year, should be about 10,000 if we keep doing what we're doing, marketing, reaching out to people, getting people to understand what this application does. Everybody that's on our network you could notify that you're looking for a single family, you're looking for a certain type of sale type. Let's call it subject to, right? I'm looking for a subject to. They're big now. Maybe maybe you're liquid, let's say 60K, but you can get a loan for the rest, right? You're looking for about $200,000 to $300,000 single family, and you're looking in, let's say anywhere. I mean, you're Georgia, right? And you hit the send request button, and if you give it a second, FlippBidd is going to notify via message everybody in our network that because on their side, it's going to say Ken Singh is looking for a subject to property in Georgia. And now, given it's not going to work 100% of the time, but you're basically putting on APB of what you're looking to buy. Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't.
I always wondered what that button was. I've always heard the terminology, but didn't know what that button did.
That's what it does. You're sending an APB out. You're basically telling everybody in our network, hey, I'm looking for a property. Anybody got anything to sell? Now, whether for you or check this out, maybe you have a respective buyer that reaches out to you every once in a while. Hey, do you have any good deals? Do you have anything in this area? Do you have anything there, here? I'm looking to buy. I'm liquid. Do you have anything? Well, guess what? Use the Find My Deal feature and then ask. Simple as that. We couldn't make it any easier than that, right? We're not
Mhm.
brokers. We're not agents. We don't make money on this. Our objective is to literally connect everybody in the whole United States of America. If this thing does well by the end of the year, India, UK, Canada is asking, they're asking us to see if we can expand. And at that point, I think we'd be pretty successful, but I'm more than happy just to create just a wonderful application that addresses a lot of needs just in the US alone. So I think that's great. It's something that was needed, so we added it. Two, let me ask you guys, are you guys getting messages about X amount of properties were uploaded in FlippBidd, like right around 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, right, like on a daily basis? Are you getting a notification on your phone?
No, I didn't get anything.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you should. So notifications, by the way, guys, I'm not a big fan of iPhone, believe it or not. So if you go to your notifications, it'll pop up like here, right? It's like these are notifications, right? These are notifications that you get from App Store, or you get it from Google, or you get it from Spotify, right? I got a couple of, YouTube videos. These are notifications. All I did was hit the up button. But guess what? Check this out. Here's some notifications from FlippBidd, right? There was a property that was uploaded. I think this is a test for South Dakota because we do testing on North and South Dakota. Why? Because we just don't have a tremendous amount of users over there. So these are notifications. We can't tell you when to check your notifications, but what we can do is send them to you. So there was a property uploaded today, check new deals. It's probably just a test, but you get these notifications daily. So when you click on that on that notification, it'll open up the app and it should bring you to your new properties, the new property. That was a test. That's why I brought you to here. But if it's a real deal, let me just close this off. Yeah, it was a test. That I know that because it's our beta version that they're testing. But when you click on your notifications, it's going to take you to this page here. New properties. What are new properties? Properties that are being uploaded, like I shared with you guys earlier, right? All from our website, right? People that are just uploading properties saying, look, I may or I may not become a member of this community. I don't know why you wouldn't, right? Because it's no credit card required. You could play around with it as much as you like. You can upload properties. Yes, if you want to pull data, you want to skip trace, you want to use our distressed property search filters. And look, data costs money. It's not free. We get a bill at the end of the month, right? Otherwise, look, we could probably create this as freeware and then put a lot of marketing ads on it. I don't think you guys would appreciate that. Anybody appreciate a lot of pop-ups and ads?
No.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah, we don't either. But can we do it? Absolutely. We've been asked by, a couple of companies, hey, can we put our ad here or ad there? When people click here, people click there. Can I have pop-ups? Absolutely not. We use this as a SaaS, which stands for software as a service tool for the real estate investment industry. That's why we have to charge you guys, and it's minimal, right? It's like $100 a month. You could cancel anytime, but that's because we're allowing you to pull real data and skip trace. But otherwise, yeah, these people are uploading properties, some of them in internally, like, oh, Zach Thomas is back. That's pretty cool. Zach Thomas is our buddy in North Carolina. But they're starting to upload properties, right? And when you can just click on them and just notify, I'm going to go back to Soho's question. I can't get a hold of anybody. Well, if I click on Kevin Hart, hopefully not that Kevin Hart, right? Because I don't know when he got into real estate. But this is probably another Kevin Hart uploaded a property. If you hear the voice note, it's probably going to be the AI, right? Because he
Hey
uploaded.
guys, this is a single family wholesale investment and it was brought to FlippBidd by the wholesaler Kevin Hart from the Deal Depot. It is a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,329 square feet of living space. The asking price is $147,000. More photos and documents are available from the seller's drive or folder. Click on the email button above to connect with the seller and FlippBidd will contact the seller for you. Have a great day.
So there's a couple of things the AI is telling you. The AI is telling you not only information about the property and the seller, but it's also telling you there's probably other pictures and videos in their photos and documents. Photos and documents would appear here if they uploaded a Google Drive or Dropbox. Because it's not here, there's probably no additional pictures or videos. It's also telling you to click on this email button above to contact Kevin Hart. So if I contact Kevin, I click here. Kevin just got an email from my phone number and my registered email, and also with the information of his property. And basically, the subject says, "Hey, we have another investor on FlippBidd. Your property caught an eye of an investor on FlippBidd. See confirmation information below." So going back to Soho's question, so if you one
Mm-hmm.
don't have an up to date or a current email, you're not going to be able to contact you, right? Because it's going to end up in some other email address and spam, right? So always use a current email address because that's how they're going to communicate with you. Two, going back to the profile, make sure you have your phone number, your cell phone number attached so they can call you back. If in fact you have both of those things done, guys, feel free to click on your profile. If there is an issue and you haven't heard from a seller, let's call it like, let's give it 2-3 days because life does take over. Give it a couple of days. Click on support, this button right here through your profile. This, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, is you could write in this. A lot of people didn't know that. Here, you could join our Calendly Zoom demos with the same link that we provided and book a seat. It's that easy, right? Here, you could click on this and say, "Hey, FlippBidd, trying to reach wholesaler, whatever the name on property address," and always be as detailed as possible, guys, because sometimes we don't know what deal you're talking about. Like, "Oh, I'm trying to reach a wholesaler. I wasn't able to get a hold of him." We don't know who you're talking about. We don't know what address. So at least have one of the two. So our support admin can help you. Address 123 Main Street, right? Because they'll find out who sent it to us. Main Street, and haven't been able to hear back, right? You can send this. When you hit the send button, right, it's going to go to our support page. It's done. We're going to get it on our side probably in like 2 minutes. And we will make sure when we get it from you, we will contact the wholesale and say, "Hey, there may be an issue. What's happening is that you probably uploaded a property on FlippIt." "Oh, yeah, we uploaded a property. We uploaded a few properties. Have you had a chance to get responses from our FlippIt investors?" Right? That's what our admin staff's going to ask them. They're going to say, "No, I haven't seen anything." I'm like, and the first thing they're going to say is, "Can you check your spam folder?" Usually 9 out of 10 times they're going to click on the spam folder and see like there's probably like 10 or 15 emails coming from FlippBidd saying investor A, investor B, investor C, investor D is interested. And they're going to be like, "Holy crap, what is this?" And the next thing that they say is, "Wait, what is this? Do you charge for this?" And the answer is no. They're like, "Wait, how do you guys make money?" And by the way, this is real. These are the questions that I ask. How do you guys make money if you're just promoting my properties? Because they're not used to this. We're not charging anything. The way we make money is that it's a subscription-based model for everyone to utilize once they want to utilize it for data purposes, searching properties, viewing properties, skip tracing, communicating with each other, right? But if you want to just go ahead and upload a property and you want to make a deal with Soho, feel free to do so. You don't even have to be on the app. We'll keep going ahead and promoting your app, or you can keep uploading on our website. They're like, "Wow, are you kidding me?" So I could just call this phone number and email? Yep, that's what you can do. Now the other thing is, it's up to you guys if you're gonna pick up or not, right? It's up to you guys if you're going to register the application with a up-to-date email or not. We can't force you to do that. So there has to be some sort of, transparency and accuracy on the communication part. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, definitely.
good. So that's why we have these conversations on Saturdays. It's not so much I'm gonna do a demo and I'm gonna run through like, hey, feature A, feature B. That's for Thursday nights. Saturday nights is like really like one-on-one. Let me teach you guys like the intricacies of what it is, what we do, why we do it, and like create like some sort of formal explanation around why that would make sense. So again, that's your properties. My visits, real simple while we're here, is all the properties you visited on the application, whether you pull data on them or you saw them for sale. And here you can skip trace one by one. You can click all. We were having an issue, by the way, 2 days ago, guys. Our data aggregator changed a couple things via API. The skip tracing wasn't working. It is working now. So let's take a look. Here's Rockdale Court in Kentucky. Hit the skip trace button. Okay. And by the way, you can export. You could skip trace everything and export it out. Again, export it to an email that's registered to the application. Make sure it's an up-to-date email because otherwise it's going to end up in spam and some outdated email address. Here it is. Click on that, and here's the information from that property from Kevin Hart. And here you go. Kimberly Stefan. Wow, a lot of information here. Okay, this is actually the first time I've seen 4 phone numbers and four emails.
Right.
So here's some information of the properties, right? And guys, let's try to be ethical about this, right? We've given you an opportunity to skip trace properties. Try not to circumvent the wholesaler, okay? Like they're gonna basically what's gonna happen is, and I tell people this, I've told them a couple times already. What's going to happen is if they find out that you guys are circumventing them by using our skip trace tool, which is obviously you can see it's very powerful right here. You just click on the phone and you dial out, right? You click on the email and your email set. Again, why it's important to have an up-to-date email address because it's whatever is registered is going to go out to the person, Max or girl 99, right? Lead draft. Let me go back to FlippBidd, right? We have a powerful tools here to give you a lot of information on the property, right? Some information will be there. Some areas we have more data than others, but ARVs, comps, mortgage data, right? Not available, not available, but okay. We have some basic information and skip trace information here, but you guys can utilize this at any time, and that costs money. When you hit that skip trace button, that costs like we get billed for that. So not that we charge, and a lot of companies do that, charge per skip trace or charge per whatever. It's just a subscription-based model, right? And that's literally it. So we can do that. Your connections, very easy. This is where your call logs are, people that are calling in. Sahadra Jagnanan, I gotta call this person. They're from Laffy. I will call them back. You know what? I'll message them now in front of you. So here's Char. I haven't gotten back to them. They called over the last few days. I've been pretty busy, but I'm gonna hit the text button. I saw Hadra, right? I think it was a couple of deals I had. I saw I'm butchering the name here. I saw Hadra. Please message me. I missed your call. It's your call. Thank you. Okay. And that's it. That's all we're doing, right? You missed the call, you message back, they'll message you, you'll get notified, and it works. So I will show you it works, right? I don't know if Sahadra's going to pick up, but let's make a phone call.
That's me.
That's you?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Is that Soho? Well, are you going to pick up? You're in front of people. You might as well. Making me look bad.
I picked up.
Oh, there you go. So there you go. That's Sahadra. So Soho and Sahadra, we figured it out. I was pretty busy. She called, and as you see, guys, it's working.
You see that? That's okay. Good. I'm glad you found my messages.
Yes, I got him. Sorry, I get a little preoccupied. But what was the point of this story, guys? So obviously the call and chat works. That's very clear. People get busy. Point of the story is if you just send the message on here and hit and message, I will check in and get back to you. We can open up communications. And after this, even if I get preoccupied with properties, right? Which is probably you're calling us on a number of New York properties because you're with Laffy, right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to be more than happy to connect you with the sellers in New York. So, uh, here it is. Soho's probably contacting us on one of many deals on here. Is that
So
correct?
you're the wholesaler. You're the wholesaler that wouldn't answer her calls.
I am the wholesaler. Well, I'm not the wholesaler. I'll tell you why. Because New York's a little bit of a different animal. I just so you guys but yes, technically yes. Thank you. Yes,
I am from New York. Believe me, I know. I'm from New York. So it is a different animal.
it's a different animal altogether. I've known my brokers in New York for like literally like 10 years plus, and I get a lot of properties in New York. And Laffy, from where So is from, Laffy Real Estate has asked me. By the way, Greg Berkowitz, right? So you know
Right.
who Greg is. Greg and I talk.
He's the one who brought me to FlippBidd.
So Greg tells me, Ken, these properties are for sale. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'll take all of them. I'm like, okay, well, let's slow down. Slow down. I know I can make a tremendous amount of money, by the way, guys, just by selling and just tacking on $10,000 on each of these properties. But I try to stay as true as, not that I don't need the money, we do, but I don't want to go against my own business model and show favoritism. No offense to Greg or Soho, but what I will do is when Soho messages me back, we'll find out who the seller's rep is, and I'll connect her directly with her because it's all about integrity, right? And, like I know who the seller is. I only get them from like three brokers, all of these properties. And these properties are valued, they're as Soho can see, they have a lot of equity in them. Correct, Soho?
Yes.
They have a lot of equity in them. And now, guess what, guys? Through FlippBidd, Soho, and literally Laffy Real Estate that has 575 brokers, I'm in connection with the CEO and founder, but I still will not show favoritism despite the fact that they'll buy all of these properties. I won't do that. Right? So Soho, you got to play nice and just be, just understand that we got to follow certain protocol because we have investors from outside of the state too, right? That are looking into these deals. But I will get back to you. Just message me and just let me know what properties you're interested in, your address. Either myself or my admin staff will get back to you with a seller's rep with their contact information. You could call them directly. That's it.
Good. Got it.
All right. I'm glad we got to the
Don't.
bottom of that. Let's move on to something else. So hopefully that was helpful. Thank you for kicking off the Saturday demo. Anybody else got questions on this thing?
I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. I mean, for me at least, because I play around with the app a little bit, but just the buy button, and already answered that. So I'm pretty much good. So I'm letting you flow your own flow right now.
No, I appreciate it. Like I said, if any because I can't see who joined. Phil, I'm sure there was a few others that joined since I started this because they have a black screen behind me. Um, Anybody that's joining, just understand the overview of what it is that we're developing. This application, by the way, took like 8 years to develop. Why did it take 8 years to develop? Because I was on your side. I was the middleman, right? I was the young guy that was like getting contracts from like short sale specialists or like REO brokers and sellers, right? And saying, here you go, Mr. Investor. And Mr. Investor in New York was like, thanks, kid. Here's a couple $1,000. I'll give it to you at closing. Okay. Thank you for hooking me up. And I was getting them like brownstones in Brooklyn for like $350,000 at the time that are now worth like $1.5 million. And then I realized I'm like, you know what? There's got to be an easier way to just create transparency. There's just got to be an easier way through technology because my background is actually in software, even though I got involved in real estate as well, to be able to just connect everybody directly and just create a community of basically what I'm doing now, right? The manual way, answering questions, transferring pictures back and forth. Hey, do you have pictures? This guy needs pictures. Do you have paperwork? Hey, this is the paperwork. Yeah, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Or just like let them upload it and just notify everybody and let everybody vet each other. through chat, through calling and networking, just like we do on the on the street level, right? Or in the corporate level, like be able to, just like Soho does. She's a broker and agent, right? She's probably going to say, "Hey, do you have a pre-approval letter so I can show you the house?" That's usually how it works. With our industry, it's like, "Hey, do you have a proof of funds so I can show you, I can see that you're serious? Please, can you draft a LOI, a letter of intent to purchase, with any and all contingencies, contingent upon access to property, contingent upon free and clear title, contingent, whatever it is, right? Contingencies could be endless, but you guys can do that. How do you do that? Right through chat and calling, right? Simple as that. Again, make sure your phone number is correct. Make sure your email is up to date that you're registering with. What else, guys? What else would you guys like to see? Do you guys want to see? Do you know what this button does? The distressed property search filter.
No, what does it do?
Okay. Let's get out of New York for a little bit. Let's go into another area. Anybody else want to check out a different market? I know.
Indiana.
There you go. That was quick. What part of Indiana?
Let's go with, I believe it's called Evansville. Yeah.
Okay. Evansville, Indiana. And who am I speaking with? I apologize. I can't see your name.
Oh, it's Sylvan's.
Oh, Sylvan. Okay. Sylvan, I thought you're from Cali.
Yeah, no, I live in California. I'm from New York, Queens.
Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome. Oh, okay. You're a local guy. All right. Nice. Oh,
Yeah,
used to be.
it
Okay.
used to be.
Okay. Okay. Hey, listen, it's all good. Well, when you come back, we'll grab a drink.
Oh, I'm down.
Done. Evansville, Indiana is, you're just looking in this area just because you're
Yep,
interested, assuming, right?
yep, yeah. Just
Okay.
looking in that market to find my own market.
Okay. So do you think Riverside's a decent area over there?
Yeah,
Decent area, but if I
yeah.
click, do you think the values are pretty good around here?
I think because for me, I'm looking at the value where, how I'm looking at it is underperforming property. So if
Yeah.
someone is not, you know, doesn't know better, as far as if it's not fixed up, what it could be the after price of it afterwards. So I mean, Evansville seems like the area where it's kind of like a sleeper market.
Okay, great. So it's a sleeper market, right? But so I understand what distressed properties are and how you could create
Yeah,
opportunity because we've done it on our end as well. What
yeah,
I'm saying is if you were to find a property in this area that was a distressed property, tax delinquent, notice of default, 90 days or more, they're getting letters from their lender, notice of list pendants, they had some sort of lien or judgments on their property. It was a pre-foreclosure or foreclosure. Would you potentially try to pick this up and communicate with a homeowner in this area?
yeah.
Cool. Let me show you how to do it. You click this button, right? It'll show you how to use the polygon search. I'll show you. You don't have to read through this. I'll show you how to do it. Hit OK. I'm going to create a polygon right at the edges. It's up to 3 miles, guys. So sometimes it'll tell you, up, you're too far, and it's going to tell you to put it back. What I'm doing is I'm clicking on these balloons. They're pins, but we just try to make them as big as possible. And then clicking on them again, right? Let go, click on it once, let go of your thumb, put your thumb down, push it up, right? And we make it a polygon because now you can roll out a certain area. Up, it's too far out. Okay, no problem. No problem. Let's go up to here. Okay, that's technically Evansville, right? Riverside area.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to hit the search button. So I'm going to let you guys know this data is of 22 days old. There's a foreclosure, foreclosure, not so much information on these 4 properties, like something could have transpired. There's foreclosure. A lot of foreclosures in that area. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how are you going to get that information? You're going to get it through FlippBidd, right? You're going to click
Yeah.
on 1, 2, 3. You're going to hit it. You're going to hit add to my visits, right? Just like you visit a property, you visit the property for distressed properties and add it to your visits. Now, we were here before because the properties you were looking at and searching, and we showed you how to skip trace. Now you're going to tap this over to go to distressed properties, and here they are. Foreclosure, 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 right? And we're going to click on 1, 2, 3. We're going to hit the skip trace button up here, hit OK. And now they end up on the top of your list. You're going to click on one at a time and look at information. Not only are you looking at the subject property, but Lead Zolo, one of our partners, says within a 1 mile radius, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 motivated sellers in that area that are looking to sell their property. And then you could click on these buttons to connect with their sales team to be able to buy that lead. You didn't know that existed until we showed it to you.
Nope.
How would you only know what you know, right?
Yeah.
Unless FlippBidd says, hey, I know you're looking at this property, but did you know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 motivated sellers around within that 1 mile radius on
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Right. And now I'll get to the better part. I'm going to show you the distressed property information. And Soho can appreciate this because she's a broker, right? So how valuable is this information, Soho? You know, it's a
Very.
single family residence, first owner, second owner. It's owner occupied. They live there, so it's not vacant. Caliber Home Loans has the loan. There's a mortgage balance, there's equity, the estimated value is there. It's in foreclosure. And here you go. Mark and Damar Darren.
Oh,
Here's the phone numbers and emails, and you can just keep skip tracing and rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And guess what, guys? Maybe they won't answer, but at least you know they live there, and you know when you approach that house, you can ask for Mark and Tamara.
Right.
that's
Information, yeah.
really dope information. I'm actually impressed.
Yep, and as quick as that, and I appreciate the feedback, guys. But by the way, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You go down the list, you just keep adding in distressed properties. But we wanted to show you that you could do that anywhere. Just hit the back button, and to get back to your original app, right now you're in the distressed property search filter. You know that because you got the Polygon search. Hit the X button, and you're out of there, and you're back. And that's it. And guess what? Now, right now, you're driving around this area. You're driving up South Garvin Street, and then you pulled up on Monroe Avenue, and then you pulled up to this home here, and this home has a lot of activity around it. It's boarded up, and you're like, yeah, I pass by this house all the time. Mind you, you're on an app. You're at home drinking your coffee in the morning. You're not actually driving, but you remember you were driving down this block and saw this property. You could take your thumb and press down on the roof of any property in the app, and our assistant Orion will greet you, and they'll ask you, are you looking to buy this property, sell it? You want to get some property there, or you want to get financing? Yes, you can request loans on properties because we've integrated lenders nationally on it.
And then how does that part work? Like, do you guys have, so what are the requirements of your lenders? Or is it based on them?
Different requirements for different lenders, but I'll tell you, let's say you wanted to get a loan for 627 Monroe Avenue. Doesn't have to be for sale on the app, guys. You might not even want the loan. Maybe you just want to know what their terms are. You hit the request service button. Not a hard or soft credit pull. This is just some information to send to them. So let's call it Sylvan's, because we're in his neighborhood, right? Or where he likes. Sylvan's LLC holds the Sylvan.
It's all right.
Yeah. It auto corrects you, so I hate that. Like that's why I like Android. It just leaves you alone. Like sometimes you're over helping. I don't need I don't need you to help me that much. I didn't ask for it. So 650 to 700 credit score is pretty good. I've done 1 to 3 deals over the last year. I'm looking for a fix and flip rental DACR loan, blah blah blah. You just let them know what kind of loan you're looking for. Right? I'm looking for a fix and flip loan, and I want to get at least 90% LTV. I got about $25,000 on hand. It's an investment property. I'm going to acquire it for, let's call it $250,000. The ARV, let's call it, is 375. So you've got equity in it. I'm going to need about $25,000 in construction and the contract executed. Yes, you hit the submit button, and then application was submitted. So depending on the lenders we have in Indiana, they'll get this information and they'll call you because we have, again, your phone number and your email, but this time you're requesting information. We're not selling your information. You're asking FlippBidd to connect you with a lender in this area. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
On this property.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's easy as that. So that's a couple ways to do it. So, by the way, view property. Maybe you wanted to pull some data, right? Here's some data. property information. All he did was press down with your thumb on any property. Couldn't pull comps, but they are ARVs. So I overestimated, but the ARVs are around $100,000 in that area. Here's the mortgage data. Looks like a Dawn Tulili and owns his properties. Her that's her information. It looks like it went up for auction prior to. That's just historically, and it's not listed. So, but you could go ahead and pull data all day long. And again, guys, tier one cities, you'll get a lot more data. Tier two, better, more data. But let's say like we're in Evansville, but you're in, let's go into Bloomington, right? Bloomington's a big city. I bet you will get a lot more data in Bloomington, just simply because it's maybe not a sleeper town, but it's, a lot of people buy there. It's a big town, right? You could do the same thing. Bloomington, Indiana. Let's say you're on South Palmer Avenue. You're doing some research on these properties. Click on it. There you go. Property data again. Rinse and repeat. Request data. 3-bedroom, 1 bath. View the property. You're at home. You want to make sure you're on the right block. Click on the picture. There you go. Yep, that's the block. That's the house. There you go. That's it right there. You can just look around, look in the neighborhood, right? Hit the back button on top. Do your research. Lead Zolo again comes in as one motivated seller within a 1 mile radius, right? Property information, a little bit more information, sales comps. Not that is it Indiana a non-disclosure state? I don't know.
I'm not too sure yet, but
Yeah,
you just gave me an idea to kind of look that part up as well, because I'm like researching as far as where I won't get much hiccups.
yeah. Well, here's
And
the thing. There's a reason why we have sales comps and ARVs, right?
yeah,
ARVs is not public data. They just say, look, the average house sells for around between high and low, right? So we can give you the
yeah,
average high and low. That's important because technically that's what accumulates that's the number you get when you add up the sales comps. But we know they're
yeah,
sales. These are sales. They just won't give you the prices because it might be a non-disclosure state. But on 01/25, this sold. On 12/24, this sold. It's only last year, just like an appraiser would utilize
yeah.
beds, baths, square footage, like property within a year, right? Same way, same way within a 1 mile radius or one mile. So that's some basic information on a Saturday. Anybody else have any
Yeah.
questions?
Hey, Ken, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
This is Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, I've talked to Phil about this a little bit, and I'm just wondering, I'm in the Colorado Springs market. I live up in the mountains outside of that, and I'm actually going to go up to Montana next week for a month. My son and his family lives up there in the Flathead market in Flathead County, Kalispell.
Okay.
And do you have any projections or timelines that you are seeing maybe more activity moving this way? Because I wanted to get in early while you're growing and just be on the front end of this stuff because I see a lot of potential in it. And but I'm just not I'm not overly interested in tax deals or foreclosures. They too long of a process.
Yeah.
Um, but
What about probate deals?
Yeah, probate's okay too, and I'm just not seeing anything at all. So I when I look up there and just wondering if you have heard anything as far as the application and the use of the application moving further, west and getting into these markets in Colorado and Montana is always kind of a beast of its own, but especially Kalispell, it's not like Bozeman or anything like that or Missoula. Um, but it's a big city, and so just wondering if you see any projections on when it's going to be more beneficial in those areas.
We actually add new like features and functions and lead aggregators almost every month or two. The next one coming up is US probate leads. That's going to have that's coming literally within a month alongside guys with our web app. For those of you haven't had a chance to view our web app or this is your first time on here, the web app, so you can use this on your laptops and PCs and so on, is launching. We're looking to aim for April 15th. So that's one good news. It's not going to be exactly like the app in your hand, it's actually going to be better, right? Orion's going to talk to you. And here is US probate leads, right? Like just like you have lead Zolo leads, motivated sellers. Tom, we're going to be adding probate leads. So that's anything that goes through an executor that, and by the way, it's not just leads. We're giving you the executor information, the law firm, their phone number, their email, the information on the property. If it's a divorce lead, if it's a deceased, if someone that was deceased is a state, it's an inheritance. Anything that's going through an executor, right? They want to offload their properties, yes, including Montana and Colorado. We're getting about eight, like to start, I think like it's 12 to 15,000, but in the 90 days after, we should be upping it to about 18,000 new leads every month. Why? Because the company we're working with, US Probate Leads, has been around for 20 years. They're actually dialed into every major what do you call it, municipality across
Uh-huh.
the United States of America. So not only like if distressed properties doesn't help you, that's fine. It's not for everybody. If there's not a lot of action through wholesalers in that area just yet, that just means we haven't gotten to them or they haven't heard about us yet. Because if you can imagine, it takes an exorbitant amount of marketing money to be able to market across countrywide, right? So we're starting to grow, but while we're starting to grow and reach out to wholesalers and have them be notified of what this thing does and how they can market, again, going back to marketing their properties through the submit property button, which is free with their AI voice notes. We are partnering up with companies like US Probate Leads. Not only that, but we are also partnering up. Oh, this is still a very early stage, so this might not happen for a couple of months. There's a company that has about 500 cold callers. That literally what they do is just literally do predictive dialing to like every house in the nation on a monthly basis, and they collect information for sale by owner leads, violations leads, expired listing leads, underwater leads, right? Reverse for upside down mortgages. And there's like about 10 or 15 different SKUs that they have, buckets of leads that we'll be able to present on our application. And I totally understand like you're getting in early. And so the thing is, yes, we're continuously growing our efforts. And I think shortly we're already on foreclosure.com's list. And foreclosure.com is looking to partner up with us, but they want us to roll out the web app, and we're going to start our secondary and tertiary discussions with their tax delinquencies, pre-foreclosures, and other things that have been pre-negotiated. I think already either pre-negotiated or just as a lead, whatever foreclosure.com gets, potentially will be integrated into this as well.
Okay, that sounds good. It sounds like maybe that probate.com. I'm going to be up there all next month. We're actually renting a lake house on
Oh,
Flathead
beautiful.
Lake for the whole month, just for the whole purpose of trying to help my son get into their first house. And I thought, what better way than to find a wholesale or something like that up there and help them get into that. So it sounds like I might hit about halfway through the month, maybe even see some of those probates and see if there's anything in that area.
Yeah, you're an amazing father. That's awesome that you're helping. My dad helped us, and that's how I was able to, buy our first home in a much nicer neighborhood. And that's just what we do as parents.
Yeah.
Two, anything we can help you, like,
Otherwise, they'll come live with us again.
yeah, yeah, no, that's fun for just a little while, and then you start bumping heads. I know, listen, it's family. I get it.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own opinions and how they want to do things. So, let's make sure we help you get a property for your son in Montana. Okay,
All right. Thanks a lot.
no problem, Tom. Anybody else? I saw that Tazara joined while I was doing my presentation. A couple of people jumped off, but anybody else have any other questions? Sylvans, how did you like it? GT, you're back. What's going on, guys?
I think it was pretty awesome. I didn't know a lot of information that you just mentioned just now was also like pretty dope too. So the whole call was awesome.
Oh, awesome. Well, that's what I mean. Saturdays is never the same. Like when people are like, "Oh, I don't want to do a demo." It's not really a demo. It's like Saturdays is like, how can this thing help you? Let me show you the. By the way, did you guys know that just so while I'll take this down, did you guys know if you guys have a buyer's list, you can literally create a buyer's list on your WhatsApp and share every single property with your list of buyers.
Did not know that.
You want to show you how to do that?
That'd
Oh,
be awesome.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know everyone's gonna be like, yes, show me how to do that. It's very easy. And these, you know what, by the way, guys, these are like just features we built in here. We're like, actually, people are doing this exact thing that we built. We just don't really talk about it. And then we realized this a couple weeks ago. I'm like, we should talk about it. It's pretty important. Okay. So everybody at this point should know this is your profile, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. When you go to your profile, you have new properties, right? New properties are every single property that's being uploaded into our system by wholesalers nationally, right? And they're being uploaded one by one by one. And the application notifies you in the middle of the day how many properties were uploaded. When you click on here, let's say we go to Javiera, right? She has a property in Texas, and maybe it's not for you, but maybe you have a buyer in Texas, right? You don't have to send them to Javiera. You can just click on this little button right here. It's this little three button icon. It's not for looks, it's a share button. Hit the share button. Oh, by the way, remember I was talking about report content? Yes, you can report content. Why do you find this offensive, inaccurate, violate state, federal laws? Hit the message, report property. We'll get the support email or the email on our end, and we will contact the seller. Right. So sharing the property. Here's the three buttons. Hit the share property button. Let's assume at this point you guys have already created a list of buyers in your WhatsApp, right? Which everybody does now, right? Here's an old list that I used to have, right? I don't use it anymore, right? And here is why FlippBidd network deals. I was just testing it out with a bunch of people. Hit the next button, right? And guess what? It's already attached. It's not going to say FlippBidd Network. It's going to say your name that you have that you registered the application with, sharing a property, single family, blah 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 blah. And here's the picture. But guess what? Maybe, maybe because you want to go ahead and JV with somebody, you want to tack on a little bit of money for yourself, right? Here's 228. You could back that out. Maybe you don't want to disclose the house number, right? So we'll go to the house number, back that out. Now it's just Norwood Lane, Arlington. And I'm going to hit the send button. Guess what? Let's go to my WhatsApp. Just like everything else, here you go. Now you sent out a property to all of your buyers in one shot, and now they can view the details and the picture.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Now, guess what? You go back, you say, listen, you don't like that property? I have another one. I have one in, oh, you're in North Carolina. I have a North Carolina buyer. No problem. Rinse and repeat. Click the button here, hit the share property, hit the WhatsApp. Here's your list. Hit next. Here it is. Add whatever price you want, back out the address, hit the send button. Was that difficult?
Not at all.
There you go. Another feature that you guys can utilize.
Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome. Appreciate that.
No problem, guys. But yeah, so we're almost at time, guys. 11 o'clock. Hope everybody enjoyed today's demo. I'm gonna leave it to Phil. If for those of you guys that have any questions in regards to licensing or 7-day trials, or hey, how's this thing letting me utilize all of our data for free for this long? What's going on? Is this thing gonna cut me off? All of those questions Phil's gonna answer. I hope to see you guys Thursday. Thank you so much for taking the time, spending time with us this morning. But Phil, feel free to share.
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna throw in some background jazz. And thanks, guys. I appreciate you taking the time today.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Ken. Thank you, Ken. You'll be hearing from me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Go ahead, Phil.
Thanks, Ken.
Take it away.
Thanks, Ken. So thank you everyone for attending today's demo. I included my email in the chat just so that you can email me. And if you haven't had a 7-day free trial yet, please email me and just say 7-day free trial, and I will activate your 7-day free trial. And once the 7-day free trial actually ends, then you'll have the option to upgrade to the pro license version, which is basically the same as the 7-day free trial. It's not a scaled down version at all, but you'll have up to 100 skip traces for the month, and you could You can view the property data as much as you want and look at deals as much as you want for the month. So if you're interested, please email me. If you guys would like to confirm that you see my email, it's paugustin@flipbid.com. It's in the chat. And with that being said, thank you again so much for attending today. And I'll give it a minute until it's 11 o'clock, and I'll turn off the Zoom.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
No worries.